Hello, hello, hello. It's been a long time. Welcome to another Conversations with JR. I hope all is well with you as we try to enjoy this summer. It is the summer of 2022. We are still struggling with the coronavirus and all its variants and everything else that we are just trying to live through. Gas prices is going up, food prices is going up, it's inflation. So I hope that everyone is just doing well, doing the best that they can, and at least it's the summer. And just enjoy what you can, how you can. Today's topic is about change. Not you changing, but when other people try to change you. You see, it's my theory that it's not your responsibility to change someone or to make them better for you. It's not our responsibility. You know, people are capable of changing. They're capable of changing. They're capable of self-reflection. They're capable of making adjustments. But that is a decision that they should make. That is something that they should make and not be forced and nagged into changing. You know, when people want to change something about you, just think about, I'm talking about in intimate relationships. I'm talking about in friendships. I am talking about family members. Any situation that you find yourself in with an individual who wants you to change. You need to think about what is their intentions in wanting you to change. 9 times out of 10, if you really think about it, they want you to change for them, to suit their purpose, to suit their needs. It's not about what's going to benefit you. It's about what's going to benefit them. Now, when we encounter people, co-workers, like I said, intimate relationship, friendships, when we encounter people, we have choices. We either going to accept them as they are, or we just decide that we don't want to be in their company. Now, I know that it's not easy learning to do with other people's pet peeves and what we see as flaws and faults and habits that we just think that, people can do without. But that is their life. That is their decision to make. It is not our decision to make. Listen, ladies, let me tell you about, wanting a man to change. First of all, there is no Prince Charming, so get that out of your head. Get that fairy tale out of your head. And what you need to start doing is rethinking and revisiting that long wish list of requirements for what you think would be the perfect man. And you meet this man and, you might have a list of 10 requirements and he might meet 5. And you're so desperate to turn this man into a perfect mate that you want him to change certain things about him that he may be comfortable with. He may have made some adjustments in his life, but he may be comfortable with his life as is. And you nag and you beat him down to change. But the change is for your benefit. It's not for you or him. You say it's for the benefit of the relationship. Well, if it's for the benefit of the relationship, don't you think he would have changed whatever ways, whatever characteristic flaws, whatever personality flaws, whatever it is that you want him to change for the benefit of the relationship, to make the relationship happier? Don't you think he would have changed if he would have thought that there was something wrong? So think about that. And to my brothers, stop fantasizing about these Beyoncés and Kim Kardashians and Cardi B's when you are looking at these plastic Barbie dolls, these surgically enhanced, superficial women who they won't even look twice at you with your sagging belly or your receding hairline. Look at the woman that you have in front of you. You fantasize about having these women, but look at the woman that you have in front of you that you want to change because you feel like, she should look like one of these women for you, for your benefit. I'm not even going to go too deep into that. Listen, people, snap out of your daydreams and look at the person in front of you that you're frowning with disappointment because you wish he, she, them, they, you want them to change. Why? Why are we trying to assert this authority over people? And we feel that we have the right to demand that people change for us. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be physically attractive to a person. However, sometimes beautiful people come with ugly souls and bad characteristics. It is not our responsibility to nag and beat people down and becoming the ideal mate, the ideal person that we want them to be according to some impossible standards of beauty and materialistic needs. It's all about people wanting you to fit into a certain category in society. You have men and women who won't take their significant other around other people in society because they don't fit in with that group. So they want them to change in order to fit in with, these people in society, certain groups, certain class status. You must change who you are, the way you think, the way you eat, the way you walk, the way you talk, in order to fit other people's idea of who you should be, what you should do in your life, the visions and the dreams and the goals that you should have. I've learned from many years of bad choices and reading all of these books, believing these books that tell you, self-help books that tell you how to have the relationship that you want, how to attract the man that you want, how to attract the job that you want, the people you want, the situation. Listen, let me tell you, I have read them all. And I fell into that trap because I thought that I had to change the person who I was to meet other people's requirements. Therefore, I would be accepted. So years, what I did was I worked out and I basically starved myself because I wanted this physical physique that I thought was the ideal physical physique that would be accepted in society and that men would be accepting. And you know what? Half the time these men that I met, they only ignored me anyway, and ill-treated me anyway. And don't feel sorry for me because I'm not looking for that. But it was my fault. Why? Because the men I encountered didn't ask me to change. As long as they were getting their needs met, they didn't care about changing me because I was already what they wanted. I was weak and I was desperate. And I'm going to get a little deeper into that being weak and being desperate. That's why some people change themselves. You change yourself with every situation, every person that you meet. You change, you change, you change. You put on a mask for this person. You put on a mask for that person. You pretend for that person. You pretend to this person. And then you don't even know who you are. Because everybody is putting these demands on you to change to fit their needs. I was crazy. I spent thousands of dollars on clothes and hair and makeup and lingerie and time and energy to improve myself, to be better, so that, oh yes, when I met my Prince Charming, or when I met a certain class of people or a certain status of people, that I would need to improve myself because I was going to be that which they desired me to be. And how shallow and foolish my thinking. Listen, I was so preoccupied with my outer appearance that I wasn't paying attention to the fact that I was suffering from low self-esteem, low self-worth. I didn't do no self-care. I didn't know anything about that. I had such lack of knowledge about me and who I am and how to take care of self. I didn't know anything about being my authentic self because I didn't even know what self was. So I was what other people wanted me to be. And it's exhausting when you have to keep changing and when you have to keep adapting to other people's needs. You know, when people like myself who struggle with low self-esteem and low self-worth, you know, other people prey on you. And it's P-R-E-Y, prey. They upon you because, you know, when they see people like that, they figure you are weak. You're a weak link because you have no self-confidence. You have no self-worth. You have no self-respect. You have low self-esteem. And the world will take advantage of a person like that. They will take advantage of you. And so what we do is when you find yourself in a situation like that, you will allow people to change you. And you will listen to people who tell you that you have to change because the next time someone tells you that you need to change something in your life, you need to think about the intentions of that person. You need to think about what is their intentions? What are they going to get out of this? What is going to be beneficial to them? Because if a person is really genuinely trying to help you to grow as a person and be all you can be for yourself, emotionally, spiritually, financially, they will not tell you that you need to change. It is not a conversation to have a person to tell them that they need to change. Now, I believe in corrective criticism. I believe I am the way that I am not because I had loving people in my life, and I still have loving people in my life who will sit down to get me to do what I call deep reflection about me and who I am and what I'm doing and why I'm doing and the purpose that I'm doing, and bring to my attention and bring to my awareness of a lot of things that was bringing a lot of drama and a lot of chaos and holding me back. It was time for deep reflection, self-reflection. And I am so glad that those people, they come to me and say, you need to change your attitude. You need to be better. You need to do better. You know, when you have people like that, what is their intention? It's like they're beating you down more. I strived and I arrived at this age, this ripe old age of 58. And I've learned many lessons through difficult experiences that made me stronger, made me wiser, and made me proceed with caution. You know, I don't wish for people to change to suit me because I have learned this. I always say this. Let people be who they are. Regardless to whether you think they have horrible habits, they have horrible pet peeves, they have horrible flaws and faults. Okay, let people be who they are because that might be their authentic self. That might be all that they know. They might not know anything else. They might have a lack of knowledge. We don't know how they grow up. We don't know what they know. We don't know who taught them or who did not teach them. It is not up to us to judge these people. Let people be who they are, and you keep check on who you are. Who you are. That's what you need to do. You know, you need to be careful about what you wish for when you asking people to change for you, to benefit you. Because you're creating monsters. What you want people to do is be unhappy, pretend, fake, walk in a role that they are not comfortable in just to suit you. No one's perfect. Nobody's perfect. And we all have things about us that we need to, I always say, do deep reflection, and we need to look at, and we need to examine. We all, everyone, every single person on this earth. Nobody is perfect. And the people who is asking you to change, look at them. Look at their lives. It's always the people, you would think that it's always the people who lives are in more chaos than yours. But they're pointing out your flaws, and they're pointing out to you what it is that you need to be changed. Listen, it's not our responsibility to change people. It is not our responsibility to change people. It is our responsibility to accept, to love, to support, to have compassion, to encourage, to uplift, and support people in transitions. That's what I like to say. And transforming themselves into being a better person first for themselves before they can be better for other people. That's it. That's all I have today. Thank you for listening to Conversations with JR. I am hoping that you are sharing these conversations with other people. Until the next time, be your authentic self. Be who you are. And let people be who they are. And you keep check on who you are. I thank you for listening.